delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
Good evening. This is Nick Wyman with your sports update. The 2026 Big Ten softball tournament began with opening round action in College Park, Maryland on Wednesday. The winners of those 4 games will advance to play in the conference quarterfinals on Thursday. While tournament play continues, the Nebraska softball team awaits its quarterfinal matchup with the Cornhuskers set to play on Thursday, May 7th. First pitch for the Cornhuskers Big Ten tournament quarterfinal is scheduled for Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time and can be seen on the Big Ten Network. Houston Astros infielder Carlos Correa has suffered a torn tendon in his left ankle and will undergo season-ending surgery. Correa is batting .279 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs while serving as the leadoff hitter this season for the Astros. He had played in 14 games at third base, but has seen action in 23 games at shortstop after Jeremy Pena went down with a hamstring injury. College football coaches are moving forward in favor of a maximum playoff expansion, potentially to 24 teams. According to the American Football Coaches Association Executive Director Craig Bohl, the AFCA voted last week to recommend increasing the college football playoff to a maximum number of teams, do away with conference championship games, end the season during the second week of January, and protect the Army-Navy's games exclusive time window. The AFCA has not publicly revealed its decision on those changes, but coaches across college football have made their opinions clear. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Surprise, surprise. Nick Wyman here, subbing off the bench. QB2 is taking order. Harrison out of here. 94.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Wyman hanging out here for Don't Punt Hour with DeMornay Pierson-El on 93.7 The Ticket. DeMornay, it's not Monday. It's not Monday, but I'm here. You know, you couldn't get enough of me, I guess. That's what it is. But how are you doing on this midweek so far?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Another day closer to Friday.
Exactly. That's the way to look at it. And we're back on live on the air. The Royals suffer a loss to the Cleveland Guardians. 5-game winning streak over, but hey, they won the series. Won two out of three, going for the series win tomorrow, or they play Detroit. DeMornay, I'm really excited to talk to you about this. The college football coaches, the AFCA, the Association for the Coaches, made a statement basically today. There's news that they may be expanding the playoff. I know we just got to a 12-team playoff. There is a 4-team playoff. I wanted to start out with this for the first segment because I knew you'd have a strong opinion, because we talked about March Madness and the expansion, what they're doing with that, where the 64, 68 is going to 76. More than likely we'll know about that next week when the Board of Regents meet and everybody comes to an agreement on that. But the college football playoff looks like they continue to change it and add teams and potentially mess with the conference championship week when the season starts, etc. So I'll pull that up here in a second. But if you'd love to chime in and join the conversation with myself and DeMornay, 402-464-5685 or live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Allo Channel 961 on all those platforms if you'd love to get a part of the conversation with us. But DeMornay, the floor is yours. What is your thoughts, overall first thoughts, when you heard about this expanded or re-expanded playoff, I should say?
I mean, the kid that is throwing a temper tantrum is getting what exactly he wants. Like, everybody can't be invited to the show. I'm sorry. Like, 12 was the perfect amount. Like, yes, you're mad and upset, but I mean, you got a few teams that are boohoo at crying because they had the same record of things and whatnot. Well, clearly you should have won one more game than what you did. Congratulations on a good season or whatnot, but it happens.
Keep going.
If you add 2 more teams, again, like, this starts to change the landscape of college football. Outside of, the other things that have already necessarily changed, but just on a season basis and everything like that. And again, I mean, for the kids that are draft eligible and everything like that, like, at some point in time, you got to start kind of looking at that. And I think sooner or later, you'll see some kids kind of drop out of fear to not, mess up stuff and everything like that. Like I said, I think 12 was a perfect amount. Somebody's gonna be mad, but again, you have to be an elite. You have to be in the elite group to get things done. If you handle business in season as you should and whatnot, and take care of what you're supposed to, it wouldn't be a problem.
And this comes, so the proposal that's come out, I'll read you the key points here for our viewers who are just, have heard about it throughout their workday, heard about it throughout the evening. This proposal comes after the NCAA Football Oversight Committee recommended that the regular season begin earlier. Last week, for what it is known as week 0, they would start that a week earlier in August in 2027 at the moment. So the American Football Coaches Association, as mentioned, the AFCA, the board announced Tuesday 4 proposed calendar changes for college football. I know we had the playoff this year. Obviously, it was a little different than what we've been accustomed to. It's grown as well. I mean, it used to be 4. I mean, it used to just be the BCS with the 2. Then it grew to 4, and then it completely went to 12. Now, here are the changes that are being listed. There's a couple of them that are kind of interesting that are really changed the landscape of college football. So the first one would be expanding, obviously, the playoff to 24.
Not helpful.
Well, I have some, we can go back on the last couple seasons when there was a 14 playoff, even last year, which teams could have been in, what games, how does that affect regular season play? We'll talk about that one here in a second. The other one was ending conference championship weekend. There'd be no conference championship games right after the regular season.
No.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Again, I mean, some of these SEC teams play one game less already. So you're having your cake and eating it too, but everybody else has to conform to that? No, like, that's not.
So like a team like Alabama would play like a Mercer, and then they'd play the Iron Bowl against Auburn, and then they go right into a playoff game. That'd be their playoff potentially. So that's the other point. They would reduce open weeks in seasons from 2 to 1, which that also will clearly affect a lot of things across the board. Preserve exclusive windows for the Army-Navy game in December, but allow postseason games to be played on that same day. So maybe you get like an 11 a.m. Central kickoff for a playoff game, and then at 2 to 3 o'clock, no game, but you'll have the Army-Navy game, and then But what if an Army-Navy team, in recent years, Navy has been a really solid. What if Navy makes the playoff? I mean, top 24. Navy this past couple of years.
Is it Navy or is it Army?
I think it was Navy last year. Navy last year had a really good year. They're both in the American Conference. So, they're not just playing independence year after year after year. week after week after week. You have a team like Navy who wins. Let's say they go 11-1. They lose the game to Notre Dame, or go 10-2. Maybe they lose one of their conference games, and instead of bolstering the resume by beating a team that winning the conference title, what if they get into the playoff as the 24th team or the 23rd team? But who knows?
You have a team that's already making the college playoffs that doesn't play in their college champion, that they don't have a conference to play in. So how many teams or conferences are you bending over, breaking their back for, when that's not the issue with college football, and yet you're picking and fixing something that is low on the totem pole or does not need to be bothered with. So this is starting to get annoying, because it's like, what are y'all in control of? What are y'all supposed to be doing outside of lining a certain group pockets with money? Well, it's getting further and further away from some type of control.
It's tricky to also have a 24-team playoff, because what team, like a team like I mentioned, Navy, are you going to punish Navy because they play in a lesser conference and put in an 8-4 Power 4 team because they played 4 solid teams and lost, but they're 8-4 and they play in the Big Ten, the ACC, or the SEC? But Navy, what's this do for mid-major football? Like, is a MAC school is never going to have a chance to make the playoffs still, despite making it 24 potentially. Despite what's this do for the new Pac-12 with Boise State and Colorado, those teams on board? College football is like almost getting unrecognizable at this point. It's
not solving anything at all. Like, you're only going to make things frustrating and annoying later on. And again, like I said, you're adding more games that are unnecessary.
To clarify, this is also, the AFCA does not control the college football calendar. So this is all just the coaches' side. The coaches obviously are very voicing their opinion, wanting to do this. It's not
if that's the case, then add 15 more scholarships.
It would make sense with all of the your roster spots across the board.
Take things to 125, 130.
It makes more sense.
You're adding more games, and the athletes necessarily aren't getting compensated anything other than, you get to play more games. Well, that's not technically a good thing in the long run.
And the thing is like regular season college football, like every Saturday, it's usually like win or go home. For like when we had the 14 playoff, it seemed like Ohio State loses to Purdue or an Alabama loses to Auburn. It was a big upset. And it was huge. It was like, there go their playoff chances. We've seen teams even in the 12-team playoff have lost games, and that does it for them. With this, let's do the Iron Bowl for an example. The Chris Davis, he's going to win the football game. He runs back the kick for a touchdown to win the game for the Auburn Tigers at home against the Alabama Crimson Tide. If there was a 2014 playoff during that,
Auburn will be in.
They both would have been in. They both would have made a 20. Both teams were in the top 10. They both would have made both teams would have. That game would have happened. Chris Davis runs back that 106-yard missed kick for a touchdown, and guess what? Both teams go their separate ways, and both teams are going to the playoffs. And that shouldn't be the reality. Like, I get it. Like, it's money. It's more games doesn't mean a better product.
No, and not at all. And that this is one part of the system that I was like, okay, this feels right. Like, I know some people are mad or whatnot, but again, if that's the case, then SEC teams add another game. That way you will know definitively if you are one game in or one game away. Like, everybody else is, Notre Dame gets excluded, SEC teams get excluded on things, but everybody else has to be under a certain type of rule or whatnot. Like, come on now. If you want to make things fair, then make the SEC play a full schedule. Well, that will knock out a lot of these teams having the same record. But again, you don't want to do that.
And then, the Big Ten had a model like this a couple years ago. The Big Ten, one of the models suggesting one automatic qualifier, highest ranked group of 6 champion, which would be like the Navy, as mentioned. And then you'd have the 23 at-large selections determining by the selection committee of the college football playoff rankings. So theoretically, that would help the Big Ten and the SEC, given their strength of schedules, their conferences. They obviously have a lot of teams in their conference. But it shouldn't work like that. Just because you're the big boys doesn't mean you should have to push yourself around. So I saw this tweet earlier tonight, good morning. So this is from College Football Kings on Twitter, a Twitter account, obviously, who covers college football. They said a 2014 college football playoff format would be disastrous for college football. It says in 2018, if a 2014 college football playoff format existed, it would have included 6 4-loss teams and even a 5-loss Northwestern as an at-large bid. So just going 7-5, like
get you in like that takes away of necessarily being elite.
And like it seemed like Nebraska, a Nebraska team that's trying, like, you know, they're trying to get back to where they were. They're trying to, you know, Matt Rule, obviously people
that will hurt. That will hurt morale because it's like, okay, what if you run into a juggernaut and get exposed even more? Like, is that something you want?
And then if you win 7 games, you're in still. Even if, like, let's say Nebraska this year. What if they lose? Like, if there was a 2014 playoff this year,
it's not going to be enough for Nebraska until they start winning multiple national championships. So regardless if they're in or not, we're in, but we didn't go far. So it's not beneficial.
So here would be the teams of the 15 through 24 slot who would get in the year of 2018 if there was a 24-team playoff model. You'd have Texas.
Can we just use last year's team? I mean, last year's teams.
Should we? Let's look. NCAA
2018. I'm like, who's actually like that? That's a while ago.
I just saw it because that was the 5-loss team.
Okay, then go ahead and use that one.
So the teams that would have got in were 8 wins. Were West Virginia, Utah, Mississippi State, A&M, and 7-5 Northwestern, 8-win Missouri, 8-win Iowa State. And then your 9-win teams would be Texas and Syracuse, and then your at-large team would be Fresno State. So that would be your playoff. I hear some of those teams, and then
I don't even know necessarily who was on some of those teams back then, so it's hard to say yay or nay.
Let's do last year. We'll do last year's top 25, top 24 who would get in. So obviously you have Indiana, you have Ohio State, Georgia.
You got the top 10, yeah. The top 10 is fine. Everybody else after.
A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame. Notre Dame would get in. Funny enough, they were the team that kind of took their ball and went home. They would get in this model because they were number 11. They would get in. BYU, they were playing in that said bowl game, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. They would get into the playoff. Texas would be in with the number 13 seed. Vanderbilt, another SEC team who was kind of politicianing their way to get into a playoff with Diego Pavia at quarterback. You'd have Utah, which is ironic because Nebraska played them in the Las Vegas Bowl. So they would have been a playoff team. So Nebraska, technically, if there was a 2014 playoff model, they played a playoff team, which is weird. USC would have got in. Arizona with Noah Fafita in their quarterback. Michigan would have been a playoff team with an 8-4 record, or a 9.
You're watering down the product. Like, it's not, again, to make the playoffs, you have to necessarily be elite. And then, like I said, I think they have it right with how many teams can get in and whatnot. Again, if you want to change that there are 2 things that you need to necessarily do. Tell Notre Dame to get into a conference. They're in a conference for basketball.
Yeah, then
and tell the SEC that y'all have to play as many games as the other conferences. And I guarantee you, the last past 2 years that we've had 4 teams or 5 teams with the same record within the last 4 weeks of the season, I guarantee you three of those drop.
So Big 61 in our chat says the SEC is moving to 9 games this year for 2026. So they finally they listened to
about time.
About time, because I didn't like off topic. I didn't like them playing Georgia Southern and Mercer and Furman and all these teams right before they cap off the regular season, just win 72-3 or whatever they would win. Georgia would play some teams like that as well. So there's one of the issues there, but this is clearly interesting. Let's go down the line here with the ranked teams as well. So Michigan would make it. Virginia, who didn't even win, they made their ACC championship game, lost to Duke.
But they lost. If Virginia would have won the ACC championship, they would have been in.
So they are in. Tulane, Houston, Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech and BYU, that was the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
I didn't want to see them like that. Like they were good teams. Didn't want they weren't
elite. They weren't an elite team. They were a fun football team. Like Haynes King, a fun quarterback. I liked watching Georgia Tech when they played
Georgia Tech going against some of these other teams or whatnot would have not, even if they would have played somebody at number 8. Like I don't think it would have been close.
And then 23 and 24, Iowa would have made the playoffs. They would have won that Black Friday game and then gone into the playoff. And then James Madison, the team that obviously made the playoff and got whooped in their game.
I think if Madison would have played another team outside of Oregon, I think it would have been a little bit closer. If they would have got a SMU, a Clemson, for not from last year, the year before last year, but when SMU or Clemson type bid or something, I think they just got the short end of the stick with just drawing Oregon.
Yeah, and Oregon was red hot at that point too. So I'm looking at some images here. If there was a 2014 playoff, what it would have looked like. So I found one here. This is
like that's gonna be annoying because it's like I said, everybody's invited to the party. Like what makes it at that point? What makes it necessarily so special? People will probably not watch until maybe the top 50. Everybody in the top 15 starts to play.
It waters down the regular season. Like I was talking about the Saturdays when you're like Ohio State plays at Purdue and loses that game in 2017. And, I think it was 2017 or 2018 when Rondale Moore went off. I think
that was 18.
It was 18. That was a huge game because Purdue, people gave them no chance. Ohio State was rolling teams, and they come in there in a night game. Obviously, they were pretty inspired. There was the kid with cancer sitting in the box. That was a huge ordeal, and Purdue pulling off the upsets. I got chills this time. I remember watching that game. It was a big deal.
It was a night game. Playing Purdue at night, it can.
Wow. West Lafayette. And then they win that.
I hate that stadium.
Why is that? The big drum?
No, that's where I got injured at. I can't stand Purdue.
Oh,
I can't stand Purdue.
Can't stand Purdue. Is the field or
the field?
The field's not good.
All of the university, the state. I don't care. Just throw it all away.
Not a fan of Purdue. Check the box. I'll remember that going forward. But exactly. That's what if let's say that happens. Ohio State loses that one game in 2018. Doesn't matter. They could go 11-1, beat Michigan, and all of a sudden, hey, you're still in the playoff. It waters down just the regular, like you said. Like there are some fans. Like we're in the capital city of Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a very passionate college football fan base. You go elsewhere, like you go up to New York, their college football is not as big as what it is. The NFL is king over there. Some people don't tune into the college football until bowl season. And that's another thing I can talk about. Bowl season. What is this? What would a 2014 playoff do for bowl season?
What teams? I mean, you're going to make these the same thing. You're going to make these bowls the playoff games.
But then I love watching bowl games. I'm a bowl game.
It's the funnest time of the year. I mean, outside of that, and probably like I would say the last month of college football because things are right then and there and it's starting to close. But once you get those bowl games set or whatnot, like it's definitely exciting.
But that's the next thing. Like, what happens to the Idaho Potato Bowl? What happens to the New Orleans Bowl? Is that be like that? And you think about the teams like the mid majors. Like I mentioned that top 24. James Madison's the only mid-major. What's this do for a team like Troy? What's this do for a team like Toledo? Teams like that. Are they like even some of those teams go 11-1 and they never scratch the surface of making a playoff? And like I think Northern Illinois with Jordan Lynch way back when in the early 2010s is the only time the MAC was really, really elite. Outside of that, I don't know what those teams. What are they playing for? Just going to a bowl game and playing pretty much because then they're eliminating conference championships. Would the MAC just you play your.
I don't see why the conferences would go to moving away from that.
I agree because I think the conference championships when you meet at a neutral site
that makes that toy or that trophy a lot less shinier. Like conference, like if you're not necessarily if being the champion of your conference necessarily isn't there, then like. How do you get to the next step necessarily? Because you can't have that title. Oh, we were the best team that year in the conference. So I mean, you're taking away the nostalgic of it, and I think that's taking money off the table. That's not a good look.
I just think it's just like the March Madness thing. Like, your college football is going to be unrecognizable. Like the college football that you and I grew up on. Like, I don't know, what was your first recollection of college football? Like your first, like, wow, I love college football moment growing up. Because there's always a game you can pinpoint and be like, man, this is
I don't
awesome.
know. It's between, I would say, watching Vic or
It's a good one.
I'm trying to think at that time. Like
Young,
Reggie
Young.
Bush.
Yep.
They
got a lot of primetime games then too, like Reggie Bush and that USC team during that time. Because that was the USC, the Pete Carroll, dynasty time when they were the the kings of college football at the time.
The U doing their thing and everything like that. I mean, what they were going on and everything like that. I mean, they were a hot, popular team. This is post 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So what Florida was doing, Florida had a huge sway. And as I started, to get older or whatnot, Florida was in our area heavy, like taking away athletes. All universities, FSU, Florida State, Florida, Miami, they were always around. I mean, Joe Hayden from the area, Jalen Tabor and everything like that. So I mean, Ronald Darby. So I mean, it's been some Percy Harvin. It's been some national champions that have come through there. So I would say those teams are kind of what they were doing.
My first one, so like when I think of college football, I remember one of my first seasons was when App State beat Michigan. When App State was FCS and they win that, and I was like, I didn't really understand why that mattered. Like I was like, oh, they upset Michigan, all right. And then you dive in a couple years later when I get older and figure out the landscape of college football, I'm like, wow, that was actually pretty nuts, and what it meant. So like you take like imagine going back even in the 2000s, Reggie Bush teams and stuff like that. Like I just the differences from then to now is just it's unrecognizable how much college football has changed.
I mean, he had his Heisman stripped in records. He was an outcast of the university, and they're doing the same thing that he's doing now.
And it was a problem 10 years ago, and it was it wasn't really even a problem. I mean, teams were doing it, and then obviously people kind of vouched for it back, and then he kind of got everything back together. But it's weird that was such an issue, and now it's just like, oh yeah, sorry we did. I don't even know if he really got an apology for it.
No, I mean I know he's back. He's back in the Heisman videos and everything like that. I know his stuff is back.
USC
at USC, but I don't think they flat out. I don't think it was SC from the jump.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was more so the NCAA. But yet you've had other players that have come out immediately after saying, "Oh yeah, I definitely got paid," and they kept their Heisman. I mean, Ohio State got punished for exchanging gifts for tattoos. And now, I mean, some type of form of NIL deal, it's probably okay.
I remember that because they went undefeated that year. They
weren't able. That was the year before Zeke and them went off and won the national championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a year, or at least a year or two necessarily beforehand. But they were undefeated.
And Cardale Jones became a household name and everything. Before we go to break, Big 61 says his first memory is Tom Osborne's 250th win in 1997 against Oklahoma. That's a solid one. Big 61. I was not even born yet when that happened. So sorry to age you a little bit. Maybe make myself sound like I'm a rookie in around these parts, but it is what it is. But we're going to go to break. On the other side, we will go to the court with the hardwood. NBA playoffs continue. Game 2, Minnesota taking on San Antonio, and the Knicks go up 2-0 on the Philadelphia 76ers. About to the Celtics. That's not happening. Celtics sitting at home after losing Game 7. We'll talk about it on the other side. Good morning, Pierson-El, Nick Wyman, 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Hello, I'm Steve Sipple, co-host of Early Break, weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And my favorite thing to do, see, or go to in downtown Lincoln is probably O'Rourke's. It's not like I go there that often, but when I do, it takes me back to my college years. It's always been a very chill bar. Seems like they play good music, just a good vibe in there. And I look forward to my next trip into that bar.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. Does someone in your household avoid phone calls because they can't hear clearly, or do they have difficulty speaking on the phone? Nebraska offers a solution. The Nebraska Specialized Telecommunications Equipment Program, or NSTEP, provides financial assistance for specialized devices like amplified phones, captioned telephones, smartphones with Bluetooth pairing to hearing aids, and speech-generating devices. If you're a Nebraska resident with a certified hearing or speech disability, you may qualify. It's not income-based, and once approved, you own the equipment. Learn more or apply at psc.nebraska.gov or call 1-800-526-0017.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Nevco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete in Lincoln and Palmyra. Ready Mixed offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply with Ready Mixed Concrete today to be eligible for a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nevco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with Ready Mixed Concrete. Visit NevcoInc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 7th and Van.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back. 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Wyman, located 1040 O Street in the capital city, alongside former Nebraska football wide receiver Good morning, Pierson-El. We just got done with a 30-minute conversation. It went longer than I thought it was going to. I mean, if I didn't stop, we probably could have gone the entire show without a break. Good morning. I think we were pretty close. But hey, it was a fun conversation. College football, maybe unrecognizable in a couple years. Changing up a couple things, potentially no more conference. Couple months. How many weeks are given it? I mean, they are already trying to change college.
I'll say this: big changes are coming, and I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off. I'll leave it at that.
Well, they're going to next week. Allegedly, they're voting on expanding the college basketball March Madness tournament, which people are not happy about that. And now, guess what? On top of that, they're going to continue to dogpile on changes.
More money, more problems. That's what they say.
That's the NCAA's motto going into the year, the latter half here, the second half of 2026 into 2027. But on the other note, the NBA playoffs. So last night, there were two games that happened. We can talk a little bit about those ones. You had the Pistons against the Cavs. DeWarnay was already kind of out on the Cavs, and the Pistons kind of hung around and led the entire way, basically. Cade Cunningham continued to do what he does, looking like the superstar player that they wanted him to be when they drafted him. And the Pistons, I think the Pistons maybe got their bad mojo out of the way against Orlando, and now they look like the Pistons that we all kind of came to see going into the playoffs.
Most definitely. I don't think they'll really be true. I mean, they were tested, but I think them being tested that first round was just more so them underestimating their opponent. They kind of got hit in the mouth, and it took them a little bit to kind of like wake out of it. I don't think they will get challenged or at least pushed again until the Eastern Conference Final. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean they look,
and if it's not New York there, then I don't think anybody else on the Eastern side outside of New York will push them.
Well, and then the other side, you think of, the Thunder. Look at the Thunder did to the Lakers last night. The Lakers, LeBron did his thing, but there's only so much LeBron can do at 41 years of age. Austin Reeves had a poor night shooting. Still don't have Luka back. They lose 108-90 in that one. Thunder they haven't lost in quite some time. They swept the Phoenix Suns. Took about a week. Took a while before they played the next game, and they still don't have Jalen Williams, but they still look. They are the defending champs for a reason.
Do you think? Well, I know the answer. You don't move a player like Luka to just move off of him 2 or 3 years later down the line. Do you think a ultimatum will be pretty much given, or do you think like LeBron will just be done and kind of walk away from the game?
That's the interesting one. I don't know. Like, I feel like I know this year everyone was kind of pointing to this year. I mean, does he want to have a full retirement tour? Like, LeBron's probably the guy to have that. Like, but he did have that little like send off, when he got a standing ovation at Madison Square Garden or whatever a couple months ago during the regular season. I don't know. And I think that's all his decision to make. Would it be kind of anticlimactic? Let's say the OKC wins in 5 and that's it. It's just kind of, and then he obviously his retirement will steal the spotlight of said series. I remember a couple of years ago when the Nuggets eliminated him, he kind of teased it. I mean, I didn't believe it then, but now you're in your 40s and you're on a team that's injury depleted. Jared Vanderbilt hurt himself last night. You're without Luka. Austin Reeves is banged up, and I don't know. Maybe he's got one more year. I don't know.
I don't think he's going out, regardless of however it ends this year. I don't think he's going out this year. He's playing like a madman. He still can do it. It hasn't necessarily been a decline. So I mean, at most 2, I can see.
It's wild to say. I mean, he's still putting. 27-12 in a game where, the Lakers were outclassed. He's pretty much the reason they were in that game. Crazy to say. So OKC up 1-0 in that series. Detroit up 1-0 in the series against Cleveland. We had 2 more games tonight. The New York Knicks win game 2, 108-102 over the 76ers. Karl-Anthony Towns with 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in that one to help the Knicks to a win. Knicks up 2-0 without Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid announced earlier today he was out. They're going to need Joel Embiid. That's the that biggest thing. Like, I know he's missed games throughout his entire career, basically, but they need him.
If you're not ready, I don't even understand why you stepped on the court last week.
I know, but they needed him against Boston too, and they need obviously.
But did you?
They VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. Those are the backcourt is kind of what's been carrying them. And that's what happened tonight. VJ, 17. Tyrese Maxey, 26 to lead the way. Paul George had a solid game. He had 19. But the thing is, you're playing Andre Drummond in the post there, and you don't really have a whole lot else down low. Dominic Barlow, I don't know if that's going to move the needle against the Knicks team. That's
again, I think this series might get to 5.
You give him a gentleman's sweep for the gentleman's sweep.
I said might. I mean, I realistically, I think that they can get 1, but outside of that, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. 76ers team, obviously, what they did against Boston, incredible. A team that had to go down there, obviously down 3-1. A lot of 7 or 8 seeds usually that's a very tall task to ask. But for them to do that and go into Boston and not be phased, they played loose. Another team that's playing loose tonight is the San Antonio Spurs. They obviously lost game 1 on Monday after Anthony Edwards took over the game, 11 points of his 18 in the fourth quarter in the final 9 minutes of that one. Well, the Timberwolves are down 90-58 right now in the third quarter. It has been all San Antonio throughout that one. 35-18 advantage in the second quarter, and the Spurs continue to add to their large lead in that one. So you have 4 of the 5 starters already in double figures for the Spurs. It's been a cold night for the, obviously, looking at everything. I mean, Anthony Edwards he's coming off the bench still, obviously you really don't know how healthy he is right now. He's still playing 20-plus minutes, but, I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're obviously more than likely not 100%. There's not a whole lot of players who are 100% this time of year, but I think the Spurs obviously kind of figured out what happened. They obviously let that game slip away on Monday, and they're making sure they're going into Minnesota not down 0-2 in the series.
This is the game I'm most intrigued about. I can see Denver Timberwolves game 7 type situation. I could see 6 or 7.
These two teams are just so fun, and they know each other well. I mean, if Anthony Edwards continues to get healthier as the series progresses, obviously a day off between games. I mean, if you go to 7, you have the Spurs, who obviously haven't had that game 7 under their belts. A couple of those guys, you have Harrison Barnes there, only a handful. But you have this Timberwolves team with Chris Finch leading the way as the head coach. And a lot of these guys have been a part of those Denver series you mentioned. They have that game 7 mojo. They know what it's like. Obviously, games 1 through 6 are part of the series, but the game 7 is a whole nother level of play. And I think Minnesota, they have that cool, calm, and collected demeanor with one another with how they go into those games. So, I mean, they are a 6 seed, but I think you take away the number from where they are. They're a very playoff experienced group.
For sure.
And I think with them, I mean, if they can get a little healthier, they're starting Terrence Shannon Jr. still. He's got 10 tonight. Jay McDaniels has 10. Julius Randle's not shooting well. He's got 12. Rudy Gobert is obviously low in scoring. He's got 10 rebounds. That's what they bring him in to do, but he's got 5 points. And then Mike Conley only with 3, and then not much coming from the bench. Desumu's not having a good game. Obviously, he was a big hero in the first round against Denver. He's 0-4 with 0 points in 10 minutes. And outside of that, not a whole lot. Naz Reid only has 8 points. And that's probably why going into with under a minute to go in the fourth quarter, it's 96-60. So at this rate, take out the starters, pack it up, get ready to play in Minnesota, which is a very good environment for when they're good at basketball. I do like when they bring out the classic uniforms, DeMornay, at the Kevin Garnett era ones. Those are the best ones. One of the best throwback looks. I don't know the uniform combination they have, but if they pull those out, I might have to pick them just off of vibes alone to win game 3, because it's just such a good look. And when they have that, I just have that nostalgia to the that era of Minnesota. I don't know what it is. It's just more gritty. It's just that's just kind of what the Timberwolves are kind of based off of. They obviously had the other ones before Kevin Garnett, before they rebranded to that era with the trees and the wolf, but. Hey, I think that's of all the series there, like the Knicks obviously have complete control right now. Pistons look like potentially it's only game 1. We don't know for sure. Lakers, who knows what happens there, but OKC.
We know what's going to happen with that. Stop that.
OKC, I'll give them I'll give you have a gentleman's sweep before the 6th. I'll give the Lakers a gentleman's sweep.
I said
I'll give them 1.
It might go 5, like I said.
Gentleman's sweep. That's what they call it. The gentleman's sweep. You give them 1, and then you win game 5. Which, hey, more games the better. I'm not gonna complain.
It might not get to 5. It might not.
I mean, the way OKC's playing right now, like I said, they haven't lost in quite some time. Like the first round's been they wrapped up the first round a while ago, and that was their first game in a while, and they didn't press off the gas. This San Antonio Minnesota series, I hope it's the series that goes 7 and just continues to build with more. Because when you play several games, there's more little diciness. Anthony Edwards got a little bit of flair to him. It could be an interesting one across the board. But the NBA goes on. Let's check the score before we go to break. 14 seconds left in the third quarter. If you're still watching, it should be a quick fourth quarter. It's 98-60 right now. Not too pretty. You might see some backups down the line. I would hope you see some backups in that one. Not the biggest blowout we've seen in the playoffs, crazy enough, but it is a blowout right now with looking like it's going to be a 1-1 series heading back to Minnesota on Friday. So we're going to take our second break. We'll be right back. We'll wrap up the show on the other side. Good morning, Pierson-El, Nick Wyman, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're looking for a workplace that feels like home, Midwest Bank might just be the place. We're hiring a personal banker in Lincoln who enjoys helping others and being a part of a close-knit team. With great perks and a community-focused mission, you'll feel right at home here. Porque aquí todos son bienvenidos. Apply today at Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer. Member FDIC.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Attention Lincoln riders, mark your calendars and get your gear ready. This is the weekend you've been waiting for. The official Honda factory demo truck is rolling into Nebraska for a massive 2-day event. This Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, the Big Red Honda Semi will be at Rod's Power Sports in Southwest Lincoln, unloading a fleet of 22 brand new 2026 motorcycles. Experience the legendary Gold Wing, the adventure-ready Transalp, or the high-performance CBR sport bikes. They're all here and ready for you to ride. Bring your gear and your motorcycle endorsement because these test rides are free. Plus, just for completing a ride, Honda is handing out $250 in Demo Bucks coupons. You can use those savings toward any new, unregistered Honda 2-wheeled motorcycle anytime within the next 30 days. At Rod's, it's a party for the whole family. We'll have free refreshments all weekend long with fresh brats served on Saturday. Saturday is also Family Day. Bring the kids out for fun games and activities while you check out the new lineup. Rod's Power Sports, 1030 Saltillo Road, your only Level 5 Honda powerhouse in Nebraska. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
A single mom of 3 was facing eviction, struggling with a recent separation, health issues, and no job or childcare. She feared losing everything, especially her children. But then she found support in her community made possible by Nebraska Children and Families Foundation. She was connected to support. By the end, her bills were paid, she left her new job, and hope replaced fear. This is what the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation does. They lift up young people and families so they can find stability, build brighter futures, and power a stronger workforce. Ready to help make more stories like this come true? Support the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation on Gift to Lincoln Day. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for hosting? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and the close to a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you consider throwing a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back. Don't Punt Hour. DeMornay Pierson-El alongside myself, Nick Wyman, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. As always, 10 o'clock to 11 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Thursday, right here, 93.7 The Ticket. DeMornay, we only have a couple more minutes, and officially we have a little bit of, we touched on to begin the show with the expansion talk with the playoff with football. We talked about that. We hinted at another expansion with the NCAA tournament. We have I talked about how in the coming days, days don't have to wait. We have Pete Thamel with ESPN just announced the NCAA is pushing through the final steps for expanding the men's and the NCAA women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams officially starting next year. They are in the final steps. You'd say they are on a fast break, a breakaway dunk, breakaway.
I hope they miss it. I hope it rolls right off the rim and something happens and it can be moved forward.
So I hate to bring this up, but Wisconsin had a guy named Sam Decker. Maybe played in the NBA, played with the Rockets. There's a clip he's basically famous for, and he's the NBA. He's dribbling the ball on a fast break, and he trips and dribbles the ball right off his face, and it goes out of bounds. That's kind of what you're hoping the NCAA does here.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed from DeMornay. The NCAA committee has a call scheduled for Thursday, looming as expected final steps for the
I hope they won't be able to pick up. The
internet goes out.
Yeah, something. Just I can't hear you. Nothing's coming through.
Whoops, wrong number. I guess we can't. I guess never mind. All bets are off. Back to 68. We can only hope. Maybe it was like back in the day when they, way back when it was delivered by horseback. Maybe that's what the NCAA is doing. The way this is going back, I don't think that's how it's going.
Absolutely.
The expansion process could be completed as early as
tomorrow. It's ironic I say that. I'm like, oh, some changes could be happening in the next couple of months. And you said weeks. Guess what? Hours. So this was just a week ago when we found out potentially the official, steps to expanding the NCAA basketball tournament. How long you given? How many more months until this football expansion is official for 2027? July? June?
Probably
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
I mean, like I said, there are other news that is coming out, or that is going to come out. Like I said, I don't want to speak on it, but so I'm assuming around once all things get solved and whatnot, they'll just kind of put out a package of a whole new layout, which will include head to toe of new details, things that are changed, that shouldn't be changed, but we'll see.
Well, these are just two sports which are huge, money grabs for the NCAA with college football and college basketball. Obviously, March Madness, you don't have to be a big college basketball fan to enjoy March Madness. So what's next then? Are they going to expand the college baseball tournament? Are they going to expand college softball? What are they going to do with, what's the next sport on the docket, you think? If there is one, which there might be, who knows?
They're going to expand with international kids running track at the same type of meets, more regular, or they might schedule, American collegiate athletes competing overseas during regular times or something like. It's going to be something wild.
I don't know. It's the NCAA. They got a lot of tricks up their sleeves and ones that we are not big fans of. I mean, I'm not a fan. We have this. You have this. You have the 5 for 5 also on that. That's not a foot. That's a thing. We've talked about that a bajillion times. We'll keep that on the back burner. We talked about it enough. You and Harrison have talked about it enough. That's another one. I think they're 0 for 3 on changes that for you. They've struck out. The NCAA has struck out with you so far.
They've been struck out. They struck out when they didn't give me another year of eligibility.
He still holds a grudge. Still holds a grudge.
Absolutely.
Holds a grudge against the NCAA and Purdue in their football field, because that was the one. Those are the two. Those are the top of the list for Des Moines right now. The NCAA and Purdue's a football field. What's the name of their football field? I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
West Lafayette. I just know they have the big drum. That's all I know. That Rondell Moore, Aiden O'Connell. They had some fun quarterbacks. I don't know.
I'm not giving them no props.
I don't blame you. I'm not blaming you in this situation. But what a night. What a night. NCAA obviously making some changes. NBA playoffs continue as the Spurs are looking to even up that series 1-1. Good morning. I'll let you get out of here. Harrison back with you tomorrow. Love to throw a little wrench into you, but Late Night Lincoln come up next, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We'll be right back after this break.